Hi everyone, Vanessa Webb, Stampin' Demonstrator here with you today. Today I'm sharing some super easy cards using the Covid-19 Give Back download, which you can order and download onto cardstock and put onto cards or scrapbook pages, or even popped in a frame as a gift idea for somebody during this crazy time that we've all been living in. So these cards actually are also using the Perennial Essence Designer Series paper, which is on our last chance list, and I think it is still available as of today. So you can still get this gorgeous paper, which incidentally has been created from original artworks. It's actually photographed and printed from the photographs of some original, I think it would be oil painting or maybe acrylics on canvas. You can actually see, I don't know if you can see this up close here, but you can see the canvas, the pattern there. So beautiful paper, and of course this is my last chance to use it and show you. So I did want to make one of these cards pretty much from scratch, just to show you a couple of hints and tips that you might find helpful when you're putting yours together at home. So when you order the Perennial Essence Designer Series paper, it actually comes in a 12 by 12 size, so you'll find that you'll need to cut it down to use it on cards. When we first got this, I remember there's actually a photo in the catalogue of somebody who's just framed these, because they really are works of art in themselves. And but my little saying, and I think this is a saying of many people's, is that if you love it, you should be using it. I think there's even a love it, chop it hashtag that was coined by a friend of mine, Carly Bertucci. And yes, so I'm going to chop this. Oh, this is my last piece of this actual design. Now I'm cutting it at 14.5 centimeters widthways. I'm not sure if you can see that measurement there. It's about 14.5 centimeters widthways to fit on my cards. And I will also chop it at the 10 centimeter mark. So that's the size that I tend to use when I'm mounting paper onto cardstock. And you'll find, yeah, whatever card you're using, you'll be able to cut it down so that it fits. So here's my card base, and I'm using Gorgeous Grape just to capture some of those beautiful purple colours. I'll also grab my multi-purpose liquid glue. Oh, that side's pretty too. It's really hard when you have to choose which side to use. But yes, we're going with the purple theme today, so oops. I'm just gonna get rid of that little bit of glue. I'm wearing my quarantine pants, so I don't mind wiping the glue off on them. So there you go. So there's our card base. Now let me just bring in the card that I'm making. Will be similar to this colouring anyway. So we've got a couple of little flowers scattered around, and we've also got a larger flower. So what I've done to make the larger flower is I've actually used some of the I think it's called the perennial flower, maybe, or the flower punch, the 3-petal flower punch, I can't remember. So you're going to cut 2 of those using the punch. And then one of my favourite techniques is to just scrunch it up like this. And really, you can do this without cardstock because it's such good quality, and you won't break it, the fibres, beyond recognition. They'll still hold their shape, the shape of the punch, but it just breaks the fibres a little bit and makes some really nice texture. So you could even scrunch up a larger piece of cardstock to create a background. I like doing it with flowers because it sort of means that yeah, you can shape them and resize them almost to the size that you want to have on your card. So if you want to scrunch it up even more, you could. I'm just going to flatten them out a little bit now, and I'll just grab a little tiny bit of my glue again. going to stick these two together. So you can see how they fit, and then they'll create a 6-petal flower, which you can use on your card or your scrapbook page or whatever it is that you're creating. Now I've also got a middle piece for these. Now I used to have the gorgeous Perennial Essence flower centers, which I've run out of, and I thought, well, what can I use instead? So I used another one of my favorite techniques, which involves scrunching. So I'm just going to cut this one out here and grab my scissors, which are over here. I should have had everything ready, but it's okay. I'm just going to cut one of these petals off. Doesn't really matter, it looks like a little fish now, doesn't it? There you go. So just one of the petals, and then I'm just going to scrunch this up really, really small so that it becomes like a little circular shape, spherical shape almost, and that is going to become my flower center. So if I flip that over and just get a tiny little bit of the glue here, just a tiny bit is all you need, and then you're just going to stick that down. Now you want to leave that for a minute or so, just to stay there so it can dry. I'm going to grab some garden green, and I've got my leaf punch here from the annual catalogue. I'm just going to punch that one out there. So that will go behind my flower onto the card, and it also captures some of that lovely green, which is actually garden green, on the background in the papers there. Right, so for the little flowers, we have a couple of little flowers just kind of scattered, and I've got some gold centers. So what I've used for those is the Peaceful Poppy sequins, and some of these are actually flower shaped. So if you have a little look inside your container, you'll see these little sequins that are flower shaped. And I've got 3 little flowers here that are from the Well Written Dies pack. It's the one with all the words. It's actually got some nice little other shapes in there apart from the words. So yes, so in order to put those on my project, what I've done is I've just cut them out. So I've got my big shot here, and I'm going to run them through just very quickly. And I'll show you how I put the gold sequins in the center as well. So just running those through, and you'll get there's 3 flowers in the set, which means it's quite quick to get yourself 3 little flowers to put on your project. So here they are. I'll just show you with one of them. Whoops. There we go. I actually have a little center which you can poke out. I'm going to just switch this around to my paper piercer. There we go. I'm just going to poke this one out here. Whoops. So you'll want to, you want to poke that out, and then you're going to center it onto, or place it onto your card where you'll be wanting it to go. So I'm just going to pop my little flower I've just cut out there, and then I will grab I'll take your pick tool, actually the bit with the putty in it. Okay, so you've got the putty piece, whoops, actually that goes in this way. I'll screw that in there. Okay, so this is going to allow you to grab whatever sequin you've decided to use. So I'm going to use just a tiny weeny bit of glue on the underside of that. And then I'm going to place it down. So the action of placing it down now means that you can in fact stick the little flower on at the same time as the sequin. So both of them will be adhered to your project. So using the putty means that you're not scrounging around for it with your fingers and losing all the little flowers. And it's really super easy then to pop a little tiny bit of glue on and adhere both of those together. So bringing your flower in now, if you're wanting to place it on your project even before your greeting, you'll just need to know how big your greeting is going to be. So let me show you the greeting that I am going to cut for you now. When you download the COVID-19 give back, you'll see that all of the greetings are sort of lined up, and in fact they tell you which coordinating colours and products to use with each image. So you'll see some of them actually use dies and some of them use punches, and you'll be able to see which colours they've used in the ink, or which colours they're closest to. So this one here, it looks like it's a Bermuda Bay colour, the one that I'm going to be cutting. But you actually can't put a whole A4 sheet through your Big Shot, as you know. So what I would recommend is, depending on which orientation your greetings are, you'll actually want to cut down the centre or crossways, first of all, before you pop the sheet into your Big Shot, and then you can go ahead and cut. So I'm just going to swing this around this way. And so yeah, I would cut this one just all the way down there like that. We'll pop these ones to the side, but these ones are the ones that I'm going to be cutting using my stitched rectangles shapes. Sorry, my stitched rectangles framelets. So you're going to use the smaller one. You just have to line them up, and it tells you that these are the dies that work with this particular printout, and you just have to line them up over the top. But as you can see, then you can go all the way up and just cut one out each time as you're lining up that die. And then of course you'll want to use the larger die, this one here, for the frame. So let me just cut this at this point so that I can cut them both at the same time and just have one roll through the Big Shot or the die cutting machine. Very exciting news, Stampin' Up is getting a new die cutting machine, and it will be out very, very soon, along with, well, very soon after the brand new catalogue goes live, so look out for that. Alright, so we've got these two going through, and I'll just run that through. I've been sending these cards, or these greetings on cards with to my friends, and I've actually often kind of put a little stash together so that they can send them to their friends as well, because it's nice to be able to enable people to still reach out while we're in quarantine, while we're all still under the doona, and still maintain some connection with the people that we love and the people that we're missing right now. So here we go. We've got these two layered on top of each other like that, and I'm just going to get my glue, just pop a little tiny bit on the back there. There we go. Now if you want to, you could put some dimensionals on the back. In fact, that's what I have done. I think I popped them in between as well. Actually, I popped them in between the white and the peacock, but you can use glue dots or dimensionals, whatever takes your fancy. And then once you're ready to pop it onto your card, you can just line everything up so that you can see the flower and the greeting, and you'll decide where you want to scatter the rest of the smaller flowers. But that's how you can create a flower centre and a flower just out of cardstock and punches, without having to worry about buttons or other embellishments. Fairly simple, And the technique is super easy. Scrunching your cardstock to shape it is one of my favourite things to do. So let me bring in the other cards again, and I will also show you some other cards here that I've made using some of the other retiring paper, designer series paper. This is from the Valentine's Day suite that was in the mini catalogue, and that's still available. I thought I'd use up some of that with these greetings, and this is something that I've said to a lot of people lately. I wish this was a real hug, a real in-person hug, not just a virtual hug. I think Facebook's come up with a new virtual hug little smiley face. But I'm looking forward to being able to give real hugs to the people that I'm sending that to. So that's just another one of the downloads, and I've cut that out with a circle from the Layering Circles framelits. And here are my perennial essence ones. So you'll have a lot of fun. There are lots and lots of different greetings to choose from, and I'm sure you will find the greeting that is suitable for the person that you're wanting to stay in contact with. Check out my store, www.vanessawebb.stampinup.net, for information about the downloads and all of the products that are still available on the retiring list. And have fun stamping!